Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019. We're at the half century. It's career mode episode number 50. We're in the middle of the Giro d'Italia and the Amgen Tour of California. For the Amgen Tour of California, we're at the halfway stage, stage 4. We're going to take a little quick risk here because, quick simulation. Why not? I have no sprinters here. Nothing to fight for in that. We are fighting for the overall. Let's just make sure we did not lose any time. And that's the case. So we're good to go. Next up will be another stage of the Giro. And for this one, it's stage number 5 of 21. It's a little punchy stage, but it's very little on that punchy stage. For this one, we'll of course ride for our top guy in this respect, which is Narvaez. But at the same time, I want KOM challenge points. And there are a few opportunities to grab 3, 6, 9 points for him, or maybe the continuation of Gregory Daniel. Could be. We'll see. It depends on which one's near the front, and whether we try to get them into the break or whether we just ride for Narvaez for the stage. I suppose part of that could also depend on what do the pundits think? Where do we fit into this mix? Good indication will come from this, which is no one in the top 10. Really? He's a 76 hill, so it looks like just outside of the top 10 is Narvaez for the stage. So, is there more points in the beginning or in the end? It's sprint points at the end. It's not KOM points. So as a result, I think we're better off going for the KOM points with Narvaez than we are trying to go for a stage victory in a stage where we're not even in the top 10 favorites. Unlikely to really contend for the stage itself. So I think I'm going to try to get Narvaez into the break. And we'll go from there. This is considered one climb? Really? Okay, sure. If you say so. And they do say so. 13 kilometers at 1.9% gradient. You guys are really pushing it for that climb.
Welcome to Agrigento on the southern coast of Sicily for the start of the 5th stage in this year's Tour of Italy. The first 60 kilometers take the peloton up along the coast to Schiacca. Then it's inland, across 3 categorized climbs. The highest of these is at Santa Margherita di Belice, which sits at 430 meters. So we're still talking of hills rather than mountains. The climbers more concerned by tomorrow's rendezvous with Mount Etna, the baroudeurs could shine once again. We'll know more in 152 kilometers when the riders cross the line in Santa Ninfa.
A courageous rider is looking to break away.
Good gap already for Narvaez. I think he should have an easy time establishing himself in the break today. At the moment, no pursuit within the field, so it's already 40 seconds down the road. But Wallace has given us a bit of a chase at the moment. See, Schelling's the other one who's up here. Now, if I back off just a little bit, I bet you he'll be able to catch us. As we're seeing more riders going forward. And the gap is now opening. It's over a minute. Back off to 73. Schelling reached us now. In the meantime, let's get our guys set. This could be a sprint at the end, but how much is that little climb going to be? And how much is it going to do? Philipsen has a little bit of a hills capability. Anybody else? Ooms is okay in that department. Felchi's not, so. Godry is not. Daniel is not. Dianigi definitely can do some hills. Brian definitely no, so we'll ride for him. And there you go, back to Narvaez at the front, and the field. The group is slowing down. 7 riders. They already have 3 minutes, considering they wouldn't let them go until we had a couple more riders up there. So it wasn't necessarily about who was in it. It was about the quantity. Got a few more guys, and then they stopped caring. 4-minute gap, and Narvaez starting to recover with the lower pace. And what do we have? Schelling, Rivera, Thomas Gent, Capecchi. I'm gonna guess that's French region. Beauvais, maybe. Bauer, Jack Bauer. Not familiar with this rider. So 114k to go, and no action for this foreseeable future. So I'm going to skip forward just to the first KOM point, and we do have those 2 sprint points after. So Philipson, if the breakaway group fails at some point prior to the end of this sequence, especially like right here, then we'll ride for Philipson there. And then maybe we'll try for something at the end of the stage. 2.5k to go to the top of the first KOM. I'm the only one in the group who has points currently. And at 1.7k, it's time we're going to speed things up. I'm going to go 93 here initially, and then we'll go up to a 95. We have that good hills rating. I shouldn't be challenged very well, as here it comes, Capecchi. Oh, I do get challenged. I most definitely do get challenged. And I only pick up 1 point. Oof, Capecchi gets over the top first. Okay, there is some ability here. Capecchi, what is your rating? Where are you, sir? Oh, he's a 72 in the hills, which is not great. Oh, what are we doing? Thought that was the sprint point. Nothing doing there. So Philipson still leading the early points classification.
We've got just 1/3 of the race left.
We're backing off here as we go down. We've got another climb. The sprint to the top opened the gap back up a little bit. It was down to almost a minute and a half. Now it's at about 2:06. You need water, and so do you. Okay, pace picking up as we begin to go uphill again. 6.5k to go to the top on this one. It's 7.3 in total length. 400 meters of climbing at 4% average gradient. This is more like an actual hill climb. Skinny country road here.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway.
And meanwhile, I need to reset for a second. 3k behind. And we're starting to struggle. Or 3k to go to the top, I mean, not behind. And there definitely are some riders in this group that are interested in the KOM points. So Narvaez, riding easy last time, didn't do so well. I'm going to take it more seriously this time. 1.6 to the top. $1K to go to the top. Okay, sprint it out. And we get there first. Good. And now Narvaez into the lead of the KOM competition with 7 points, picking up all 3 that time. We lost 1 rider.
They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
He's a 73 on the hills. Pretty much this entire group. Guys are capable. But Narvaez does have the best hill rating, and it's just enough.
The pace is so high that a few
Owen
riders
Hui still has not caught up. Oh, there you go. He's just now making contact. And we're back at 1:20 for a gap. We've got another sprint point coming up, and I've got to keep an eye out because Philipson needs to be in a good position for this one. You can see just how close we are to that front group. If the gap closes in the next 9 kilometers, then I want Philipson to pick up the 3 points. As we see a crash here, bad timing on that. My team included in that. There it is, Felci, Dianigi, skinny road, not much space. One little touch of wheels and you go down. This group now behind the peloton, but look likely to regain contact. Felci, ride for Dianigi here, why don't you? Okay, let's get back to the front as we've got Capecchi. Capecchi's going for the sprint? No. We're going for there's only 1 minute, and we're now trying to battle amongst each other for positioning here. So all 7 back together. 1K to the sprint point. Tempted to take the points for Narvaez, but after that little chase, everybody's right there, just a minute behind. Philipson looking good. Ooms is right there providing protection. Why don't we switch this up to where he is? Because Brian is going backwards. We'll set him to auto. He might get dropped on this climb. Okay, Narvaez at the front. Doing the work. Not getting any help right now. Should I? We're down to 19 seconds. I'm going to try to leave these guys behind. And it's not happening. They're fighting really well. Capecchi. Okay, we get up front this time. Coming up towards the top of the climb. We'll get the 3 points here. And the breakaway is done, but if they let him go away, I suppose we could try to go solo from here. Peloton's starting to fall apart. We got a few guys out the back, so I think I already set Brian to auto. I did. He's been dropped. Felci. Oh, I didn't want that. Nope, cancel. I want you on auto. There it is. Alright, also some struggling going on up here. 14K to go. Daniel is struggling. Dianigi, Ooms, and Philipson, kind of the last 3 guys left. But Dianigi is nearly done. Ooms has a little bit left. Philipson does still have a little bit left. And meanwhile, Narvaez has a 30-second lead, but he ran out of energy, so...
The tempo has slowed down. Something might be cooking.
So it's all for Philipson now. He's the only one left with any energy. And Fulsang and Bilbao. Fulsang, is he wearing the leader's jersey? He is. He's the threat today. Nearly to the top of this climb. Not a lot of pace at the moment, though. Is Daniel the one who just got dropped? No, he got dropped before that. But Narvaez, Dianigi near the back. Ooms also starting to fade. Philipson, here we go. Ooh, hello, 4.5K. Jail it up. Ooms can give me the tiniest of lead outs. So could Dianigi. I think Narvaez is going to be too far behind. to do so, even though he would give me the best lead out. Not necessarily, but 2.9k. Let's see, how close are we? That climb is just over a k away. See if he could start going forward, and meanwhile, the rest of us, let's go like this. We'll see if he can get forward, just because he would have the best speed. Dianiki's got just a little bit of energy, so I don't care about who's better. It's Dianiki anyway. You gotta start moving forward as well. Okay, it's time. 1.5k. 1k to go. Dianigi sprint. 700 meters. Give me that little bit more from you. There you go. And now Phillipson. He's not in a bad spot here. See if he can out sprint these guys.
Who's going to be the first of the line today?
Yeah, just not enough hills rating. But he'll get a top 10. Full song for the win. Bernal second. Yates third. Yates fourth. Moss. Formulo. Martin. Oh, 12th. 12th, he faded at the end. So sneaking our way through the California countryside, we head into the mountains. We've already gone over one. And we've got one more to go, but it's really separated into 3 sections. So we're going to go up, level off a little, go up, level off a little, and then go up again to the top. Now the good news about this, and this Amgen tour of California, is there aren't a lot of top climbers here. In fact, really, there's only one of the top climbers here. Mr. Double First Name himself, Geraint Thomas, who could easily be confused with Thomas Geraint, who I am sure is out there somewhere in the world. He's the main contender. Outside of that, Evenepoel, real shot today to keep a podium place for this race. You can see, as we're only just not even halfway up the first climb, we're already starting to see the damage in the group. Breakaway, down to 7 riders, down to 40 seconds. They were at 8, on a much larger lead than that. But now they're going backwards. Peloton also quickly splitting off. Not that many riders left. Owen, Garfield, both going backwards. Barta going backwards. So we need to cover this down. We've got 4 riders left at the front. Let's bring it on home to these guys. And Mather, Mader, McNulty, and Evenepoel are what's left. And let's see here. Where is our man? There he is. Geraint Thomas, 12th place, 31 seconds behind. And Evenepoel with 27 seconds. So Alaphilippe has the advantage on time by a small margin by winning a couple stages. Otherwise, it's still closely contested among 18 or so riders. Now, the last stage was actually a sprint stage. This is stage 6 of 7, and McNulty was among a handful of the front contenders who lost about 30 seconds. So McNulty slips to 19th, a minute behind. He's not out of it yet, but at just a 75. I'm actually going to use McNulty to protect. And so here we go. We're going to go with McNulty protecting Evenepoel, Mather protecting Mader, and the reason for it, if you look, Mader, a 72 today, climbing-wise. He might last a little bit longer than McNulty, and I'm not worried about the time gaps. It's all for Evenepoel now.
Oh my, the guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today. Whoa, there's an attack from inside their breakaway group.
Now, meanwhile, these guys already fallen off. Owen's out. Garfield's out. Owen, great puncher. but he is no climber. Garfield should be better than this, as he's nearly a 70, but he's been dropped. Barta is about to be dropped. And meanwhile, we're already starting to see the fade of Mather as well, but he's still there in position. 58 riders left in the peloton. That breakaway is now fading. No interest in KOM. Venipal looking pretty strong, but he's a little bit fatigued after this first climb. Bookwalter attacking, but that's from the breakaway. Going for KOM. So he's only 6th in that classification. Barta still has not been dropped. We're now 52 chasing 4 as we enter the second section of the climb. And really at this point, Evenepoel the only one looking strong. McNulty, Mader, both of them not doing too well. 3 left on the front. Small gap. Not dropping anybody here. We've only lost, what, 1 rider? Maybe 2? And still haven't even caught the breakaway as we head into the final section. It's a little surprising that there wasn't enough pace in this one to split the field. There's going to have to be next time. Barta. Okay. What are you doing, buddy? Barta just went off the front. Goes to show what's what's here, though, as we begin the final climb. He gets a little head start on this one. And a pole. A little far down the order here. And look at that. He recovered on that tiny little descent. Good job, buddy. Mather now starting to fade. Mader at the front. He'll be taking over here in a little bit.
That's the end of the breakaway. The pack gave them no chance.
Breakaway's done. 6K to go to the finish. And there you go. We're starting to emerge at the front. There's Alaphilippe. There's Geraint Thomas, second wheel. Alaphilippe in the yellow jersey. And McNulty is now done. So it is Mader's turn. Mather's been dropped. Down to 28 riders at the front. And McNulty about to go out the back. 27 riders left. See, 2 Ineos riders, 2 CCC riders, one of them being dropped. Alaphilippe riding solo at a 74 rate. He's not going to last too long like that. He's got really good resistance, though. But Mader is about to get dropped. And we're seeing an attack now from Max Schachmann. That 78 Hills rating, he could easily get off the front, but a 73 Mountain rating, he won't last. 4K to go. Mader, he's not going to last long enough. I should have used his gel a while ago. We're down to 20 riders in the group.
And it's a swift acceleration by Maximilian Schachmann.
Let's use our gel. Evenepoel, 3 riders off the front, and Evenepoel's going to have to chase it all by his lonesome. I want him to be a steady rate. We're chasing 4. Still in a good position here. Asgreen getting dropped. Kamenev staying with us. There's Alaphilippe, Thomas, and Schachmann up there. Now Schachmann being dropped. Told you he wouldn't be able to sustain it. Alaphilippe, though, how the heck is he doing that? He should not be doing that. 800 meters.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders
500 meters, Evenepoel's done. And Alaphilippe hanging on with a 74 mountain rating. Thomas, I understand that he's going off to win this thing. We should be riding second behind him with the gap right where it is. But Alaphilippe, I don't get it. I don't get it. He's Superman. We take third. That's podium. That's where we need to be. Kamnev fourth, Shockman fifth, Asgreen sixth, Bowman seventh, De La Cruz, and here comes the big pack. Conrad. There's Smader. He'll be 11th, right ahead of Sepp Kuss. Comes a few more battling it out. Still 19 and 20. Here comes McNulty recovering a bit, just outside of the top 20. Mather as well. Guys did their job. There's Barta. So we should be in a pretty strong position. I would think Evenepoel will be third. Oh yeah, he'll definitely be third. I don't think Kamnev or Shockman had any sort of time gaps on us, and Shockman was a ways behind. Kamnev was right on our wheel. But I am, no matter how good he is, I am surprised that Alaphilippe was still right there, just off Thomas's wheel, just 15 seconds behind him. Evenepoel, I mean, you look at the ratings, 78 with 74 resistance. He's a 74 with 80 resistance, and that's the thing. He used his hills rating a little bit where needed, so it was blending the two, so he was doing, I don't know, maybe a 90, 50-50 blend. So that actually puts him at about a 78 climbing, but that crazy resistance, it's an 80. I've been saying this one all along, that resistance means so much in this game. And even though he's not a great mountain climber, Alaphilippe hangs in there for this one and claims second place. Kamnev, meanwhile, 79 with a 71 resistance. So he's got the climbing speed, and that's why he's able to stay with us. But he wasn't able to attack because he's got low resistance. That guy would be nice to pick up, though, going forward, wouldn't he? Max Shockman, too far down, so that should be comfortably third place. It is. Alaphilippe still in the race lead over Geraint Thomas. Kamnev is fourth. Shockman is fifth. Asgreen is sixth. And then times really drop off. One stage to go. It's a little punchy stage, so there shouldn't be much change, if any, to the standings. Though it's not a given that the standings are now secure, as we do have some punch to it. It's not flat. Evenepoel keeps the under-25s jersey over Kamnev. McNulty's fourth in that competition, and as a team, we move up to fifth place. Final 30K here on stage 7 at the Giro d'Italia. Points classification, Fuglsang, Bernal have pulled ahead or level with Philipsen, so he's down to third in this classification with the climbing that's been going on and the points that have been available in those stages. He still has every chance to win the points classification. He's in a good position comparative to the sprinters, and today, with 20K to go, we have a sprint stage. Biggest climb of the day just now ahead of us. We've got to make sure we make it through this one in one piece. As many riders as possible. They're going uphill right now. You can see it's definitely doing damage. Everybody's a bit tired.
Kilometers to the finish line.
15K to go. I want to back off a little bit. Breakaway group is done. 14K to go. Still going uphill. Come around this corner. Still going up, and finally over the top. Everyone makes it through. 10K to go. Speed it back up. Let's also
getting close to the finish
freeze
line.
there.
Everybody seems to agree that the stage will be won in a sprint.
Let's get this leveled off. Okay, we just hit the bottom. We have 8K to go. And we have who we have left. So the obvious choice is Phillipson. We ride for him. Ohms is looking a lot better than Brian at this point. So maybe we get a lead out from Ohms today. Let's do it. It's not as strong of a lead out, but even with protection, Brian not doing so hot. I'm worried about him at the end. His -1. That's not a -1. It's just the hill. He'll be fine. We'll have him slide further back. Okay. Daniel's that next guy, and then Dianigi, Narvaez, Felci. We're gonna 8K to go, so you guys are all going to use your gels. And Felci, start riding hard. 95, keep it to this side so we have some room to gather. 6.7K to go. Everyone now, use your gel. Still trying to get in position. Dianigi, come on. Got hung up on your teammate's wheel there. 4K to go. Felci done. Narvaez, get into some open air for us. And start your sprint.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
Daniel's about to fade. They're both gonna go. 1.4. Straight into Ohms. It's not good because Van Aert, Ackerman, Machete, Viviani all ahead of us right now. Can Ohms bring us back up? Oh, he does. He does. Brian, just give me a little acceleration. And now Phillips. Ooh, not yet, not yet. Now Phillipson. Let's see what these guys have left. Remember, we started sprinting super early as a full team. Hopefully Ackerman, Machete, Viviani. Hopefully they will fade. And Phillipson might just have enough here. We've got about 450 meters to the line. Oh, he's caught between them. Can he get through? Oh, he gets second. He does get second. Okay, Viviani takes the win. He gets ahead of Machete right there at the end. I thought the gap was enough, but you can see he was bumping shoulders with those guys. If he didn't bump shoulders, if he had a clear path, they did fade at the end. He would have had it, but Viviani hangs on. Phillipson takes second. Machete third. Trentin fourth. Colbrelli fifth. Colbrelli is our closest competitor among sprinters in the points classification, so he's going to lose some points out of that. Brian takes 8th, and Ohms 9th. That takes some points away from others. That's good for us. We'll see where we are in those standings now. I would imagine, for the time being, the jersey will once again be ours. Yeah, he should have stayed to the right of Viviani instead of trying to squeeze between those guys. That's a close finish for the top three. I'm just glad we were able to beat at least one of them. Alright, so points on the day is 20. And yes, that does put us back into the points lead. 14 ahead of Fuglsang. Viviani now jumps up the order with 61 points, 16 behind Machete, just 2 behind him. Bernal, a further 2 back. Colbrelli now slides down the order among sprinters, 54, but he's still close. Lopez with 50, also up there. Trentin, Yates, Ackerman. There's a lot of points out there, and that's only 7 stages. We've got a long ways to go. So far, so good, though. Final stage of the Amgen Tour of California. And something interesting has happened. Something very interesting has happened and unexpected. You can see there's only one hill climb, but it was long. The race leader, Julian Alaphilippe, was dropped. Alaphilippe was dropped. So with 27K to go, pretty much all on the flat, a large breakaway of 13 riders just over a minute ahead, and yet there's a minute and a half gap to a chase group of just 11 containing Alaphilippe. Now that puts them pretty close behind. In fact, if we take a look up, we might see it. Come around a corner or something, we might see them. They might not be that far off the back. There's the back of our group. That's the motorbike. They're definitely not that close. They're at least 20 or 30 seconds off the back. So they're at least 20 or 30 seconds behind. We could move ourselves up to second place in this race if Alaphilippe does not regain contact. Garfield, I'm going to try to reuse you. We're going to go to Owen now. 17K, and we're going to start pushing a little bit harder though. Okay, Garfield,
15 kilometers left.
you're done. Just get onto the back.
The little promenade is over. The group has been over.
Oh, everything just came back together, but that's only for the moment. That doesn't mean it'll stay that way. Keep pressure on, see if he's at the back, and maybe if we can lose him. Oh, and we'll slip back a couple of spots. We'll see if he can be used. Yeah, there you go. We have a group of 23 off the front. 12K to go. So we do have separation again. Now Barta, just over 10K to go. Owen has recovered, so he will be able to be used again. Garfield's still there, actually. With our little group of 18 here. I don't know who else is in it. Is Garrett Thomas in it? Or could we steal the race win? $7.5K to go.
The pack is back on level terms with the breakaway group.
We're back up to 93. They caught us for now. Not enough. This group's not built for this type of whatever this is.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Pressure. Garfield's been dropped. Oh, we have split again. Okay, but in the peloton now. In the peloton, he is back up there. Alaphilippe is there. Matthews is there. Schachman is there. I do not... Asgreen has been dropped. Bettiol Pedersen, Van Avermaet, Van Mark, Fellini, Group 3, Moscon, Christoph. I don't see his name in any of these groups, so I don't know where Garen Thomas is. How is he not a big name? He may be here, he may not. Oh, there he is. There's Thomas. He's here. They've recovered to the front, so we're not doing much good. 3.6K to go. It was interesting. It was fun. But it was all for none. Let's see, Evenipol, maybe he could take the stage, right? Alright, so McNulty, give me your sprint.
It's going to be very fast.
And Evenipol. And everyone, for that matter. Jasper Stuyven, he'll be tough to beat. Can we get up there to like second? Oh, of course, here comes Alaphilippe to take more seconds. Can we get third? Can we get third? No, Garen Thomas does. Okay, well, we take fourth. We take fifth. We do secure our podium, at least. It was a fun experiment to see if we could get something out of it, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay that we weren't suddenly able to move up, because the objective, top 5. The finish, 3rd. So that's great. It's an outstanding result. Look at that. We just beat Michael Matthews, Gilbert, Shockbit, Caleb Ewan down in 13th. So that's a good strategy. It was punishing Sam Bennett all the way down in 18th. So sprinters unable to sprint at the end. So that was fun. That was fun. So this will wrap up the Amgen Tour of California with a more than successful result, claiming, that did end up being a double. Stuyven, Alaphilippe, Thomas. We get 4th and 5th. And there you go. 3rd place overall secured. Under 25's jersey secured. 5th as a team also secure. But we go one better than our objective by top 5, as in getting a top 3. So, not that our sponsor confidence was ever in doubt. We took care of business. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I will see you next time. 3rd, back up to 3rd, Super Prestige. Bye for now.